The sky was burning. The clouds red with twisted fire. Lightning moving across them. And they descended upon everything. Like a furious battle between God and Satan, good and evil. Like a fire vortex.
Welcome back, SGL. We are now in our final week of the Premier League. This is the only Mazar, and I'm not alone. Co-commentator, why don't you slide right in and introduce yourself?
Well, I'll do it in the chat box and I'll say it right here. Guys, I'm here to yap. No podcast, so that means you gotta hear me say some dumb BS here in this matchup. Even though, to be frank, we got ourselves oh shoot, this is a title potential clincher tonight. Holy.
Indeed it is. El Matador is facing off against the Rebellion, and you are absolutely correct, Debit. This is for the league title. As we go right into the standings, we can see that El Matador tops the table by 2 points against Emerald City RC. So their fate is in their hands. If they win, they seal the deal. If they lose by 2, they have better hope that ECRC doesn't win convincingly. I say if they lose by 2, I meant if they lose with 2 games won, then they better hope that ECRC doesn't win convincingly. But with that said, we've seen these two teams play each other. We've seen these two teams play throughout the season. Debit, I mean, the matchup is heavily in El Matador's favor, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gotta be. Like, no matter what the records say about each other, we're looking at an EM squad that is very, okay with rotating the squad, and they're still pulling out results. I mean, the stats speak for themselves. They're still a high-quality defensive team. They still got an insane amount of offense on their side, splitting a decent amount of games, but that just shows you that the squad's ready for pretty much anything at the end of the day, no matter who they throw out. I know they're probably going to be doing that a bunch here tonight, but I'm going to be more interested to see how this Rebellion side will end up kind of countering against it. Like, I know we're really going to be hammering in on this EM squad because, all the title implications, but this Rebellion squad is not really a thing to fret about, especially as of recent with some of the performances they've been putting on. It's just more of a how can they finish this one off.
Yeah, there's not really much to play for if you're the Rebellion, but I think that also allows you to go out and express yourselves and just play with no fear. And maybe they can catch El Matador off. What can also help them is, as you mentioned earlier, EM do rotate a ton. The Rebellion, not so much. And if we jump right into their lineup, Devin, they only have a squad of 4. And if they don't have one of their players available, they're fielding the same 3. Now, the beauty of this team is, they've all gotten better, even though the team results don't really show it. But their third, especially in Triple C and Gogan, both players have improved massively. And you still have Polar, who, even though he doesn't play as much Rocket League, can still turn up and be the X factor. And of course, Shorts is the glue that holds the whole team together. So this team can spring a surprise. They've done it against the locals, and they've done it against Timber's Army. Can they do it against El Matador? That's the question.
Yeah, you said it best. Shorts is definitely that glue that keeps them together, already in the triple digits for the shot column. But as far as the Rebellion go, I mean, you mentioned it between Triple C and Pipe Shot Gogan. This is a story of third men. Once again, just coming through. You got to see how they end up pulling away here, because we've seen Gogan put some massive 50s and work into the games that he's showcased. Honestly, can be kind of a catalyst and let Polar just kind of backseat his way through and be maybe a bit of a third man in that traditional sense of the role. But yeah, it's going to be like, how are we going to include that third person in on this Rebellion side? Where are they going to fit in best? Where are they going to, push EM to the limit over here? That's going to be where they catch him off guard. And yeah, and just like you mentioned, maybe they can sneak in something over here in this final matchup.
Hey, we shall see. But what I love about the Rebellion, Debit, is their team chemistry. When everything clicks for them, when everything works together, this team is so difficult to deal with. They will bump and demo you consistently when they get going. Their offensive pressure is incredible. Like, they will keep hammering the backboard and you will not be able to get out. The moment you think you get the ball, you'll get a challenge from the third instantly, and once again that ball's hitting off the backboard. You're like, oh my god, I have to look out for that rebound, for that cleanup shot. And you're always on your toes, and you're always worried, and you're using your boost offensively. This is where for the Rebellion sake, I look forward to to seeing if they can maintain that pressure. Because when we're talking about El Matador, they just have so many different weapons, as you can see right here. I don't know how you prepare against this team. You just have to believe in yourself. As for El Matador, I mean, you have so much unpredictability, it can still hurt you as much as it can help you. So what do they need to do to see off this Rebellion side?
What do they need to do to keep this Rebellion side away from them? Keep taking their boost. The Rebellion are a team that whenever I look at them and I see them struggle to find boost, they are so prone to the most double commits I've seen in the Premier here this season. It'll cause them to be so far out of shape. All the physical pressure from the Rebellion will be gone. We know Luis and Huey, they can be a little bit of boost demons at sometimes. So if we get to see any of those two players come out over here, that's who you want to be like stealing some corner spots away. You know, if you see one person going down toward your side or something like that, maybe just take one of those big pads along the way. I feel like that's the biggest weakness you can exploit out of the Rebellion, because they tend to lose shape a lot, especially whenever on low.
You couldn't have said it any better. And I think with the Rebellion, once they lose that boost, they're in big trouble. And if you're a team like El Matador with players like Luis and Huey who love to cut, who love to boost steal, you will struggle to get out. And you have Caesar right there as well, who has struggled recently. You know, let's be honest about it. But when he gets going, he's one of the best SGL players this season. And then you have Wicca, who is the rock, the cornerstone, the foundation of this team, allowing the best players to play their game. And that's before we even get into Kiwi, who's an attacking menace when he gets going. Not to mention the Coob, who himself has turned up with crazy highlights that we've never been able to expect from him. So really, I think this unpredictability can help them here for sure. What matters is they just should not make any mistakes on their end, because the moment they make their own mistakes, they can invite the opposition in, as we've seen against Casey Caldwell the past couple of times.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a tale of like, how can you make your opponent keep guessing you the entire time? You want to take away the confidence from them, and I think EM is a team that thrives just on being chaotic, throwing yourself against the wall, doing whatever to make your opponent just question whatever you do. I think they've got all the cards right now to, you know, bring the championship home within this series itself, leave ECRC no doubt in their mind that their next series could just be for fun, because that's what they're going to be doing, looking at this series going, Rebellion, you got to do this for us. You got to do this for us. We can pull back. We can get in here. But for EM, this is the time to shine.
Absolutely, and we are about ready to kick off, speaking of time to shine, so we'll see both teams get in very soon. But just before we do, for those of you just arriving or just, you know, catching with the stream, here's what the table looks like. El Matador wins this match. El Matador wins the league title. ECRC need EM to lose for them to stand a chance. Yes, even if EM wins 2 games, ECRC can still win the league title if they get a big enough victory against Eternal to overcome El Matador on games win percentage. So there's your summary. We're just waiting for both teams to join in, and then we will get started very soon. Debit, your prediction, and chat, feel free to chime in as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to see some predictions over here, because I think we're pretty set on who we think's gonna win over here. As much as I love to see the Rebellion pull out, you know, all the stops they have against these top teams, I'm gonna have to give the edge to El Matador. They're gonna take the title here tonight. They're gonna do it in 4 against the Rebellion. What say you?
4 is fair. I was gonna say the same thing. So let's see. EM in 4. Will it happen as the clock ticks down in Manfield? Here we go. El Matador versus the Rebellion. Final SGL Premier League week.
And there we go. What a start to it. Already filling each other out. The whiffs are coming in full shape. Another one. Oh my gosh. Dude, this is the best start to a championship, basically decider that you can see right here.
If you can tell already, chat, the nerves are there, but we almost saw a goal. Caesar coming in to clean it up. The Rebellion sat back with high boost. They got punished by Kiwi. Wicked saying, I had that too. But doesn't matter. Caesar's in to clean it up. 1-0 to El Matador.
Yeah, whenever you got plays like that going out, if you're You know, honestly, just Caesar looking maybe like, damn, I got the best teammates over here. This is the easiest setup over here. Don't gotta do anything, even with a new ACL and everything. Easy shot, easy goal here for EM to get it started off, but right back and then Polar nearly got this one leveled up. Caesar ready to the task, able to, keep the lines clear, but EM have an opportunity to break out here with this long clear.
Now, Devitt, this is going to sound a little weird for me, but when I see this Rebellion play this season, I don't know if it's because they're an East Coast side, but they kind of remind me of Steel Army in the way they play. So when you look at them, if you were playing and your Steel Army team was playing against EM, what would you do against this side?
What would I do? Oh, hang on. What a lot of deception over here. Maybe we have to wait this one out. Caesar, oh, hang on. Back up to that point. He just took on the entire Rebellion team and just owned it. Let them go with a minimal boost. Let them charge out and then strike.
So I will let you elaborate on that point, but we got to highlight that was Caesar, the third man right there. By the way, you had two EM players on the backboard and Caesar at the third spot. And now Kiwi, speaking of third, EM gets the third courtesy of Kiwi. We're just waiting for Wicca to get involved in the goals, but EM are running away with it in this game one.
Oh, and with two players going, that is not the kickoff result you want to see. A dead ball right in the middle. Maybe you wanted to bring Polar up or something, but he's not quick enough in that case. Not optimal if you're the Rebellion right now here in game one. This is not looking good.
Well, Devitt, if your team was 3-0 down in this situation, we're talking Steel Army here. Or 4-0 for that matter, because Caesar's now getting involved yet again, getting his hat trick. If you're 4-0 down like this, Devitt, what would you do?
What would I do? Tell the team basically, hey, it's not even a minute and a half is gone. You just need to find the momentum swing. You need to be the momentum swing. One that basically allows you to say, all right, we've seen all of this come toward us right now. Let's just calm down, get back to a clean rotation. Maybe let's get an opportunity to at least clear our lines, reset back to neutral, to use a little bit of some FGC terminology back over here. You need an opportunity where you're just back at regular play. No kickoff BS. Just bring yourself back to a level spot.
I like that. Simplicity and focusing on the fundamentals, that's what it's all about. And I think EM, when they're playing with this much confidence, you just have to go back to basics. And now the Rebellion definitely have. Speaking of EM, can I just highlight Wicca's aggression? It seems like without Luis and Caesar together in the same lineup, or without Luis and Huey, Wicca just frees himself up some more, and he just gets up and gets at him. I don't think I've seen this side of Wicca in a while, but it's really good to see, and it's one I was wondering if we'd be able to see this season anyways.
Yeah, I think the versatility of Wicca is really showing here. A player that can basically play a lot of roles here within this EM side. We've seen Kiwi play a lot. They're such a solid foundational player, but Kiwi's not too intense to go up. Like, they're definitely an offensive catalyst, but it's only really if the opportunity presents itself. Wicca has that opportunity to kind of just showcase the individual talent here now and not be so much all right, I'm going to provide all the opportunities in the midfield for Luis and Caesar to take over. In fact, even Caesar is the one that's kind of, being the stalwart here for this EM side.
Yeah, Caesar assuming the Luis role, as I like to call it, just being that stable force, chilling and relaxing, whilst his teammates go and do all the damage at the opposite end. Wicca doing it all on his own, Devitt. Serving Kiwi. An easy goal right there. 5-0 with 2 minutes to go. I mean, if you're the Rebellion, you need to get that first goal, but you cannot afford to concede as many as you have.
Yeah, they still seem a little, antsy to get that goal. There was an opportunity earlier we were talking about, El Matador players, and the Rebellion had a really good clear downfield where they were looking for somebody in the midfield. Polar kind of cut up and used a lot of boost to get up there, not realizing that he had a teammate back and ready to shoot that one, maybe a little bit harder than what he would have provided out there. Ended up causing a little bit of confusion over there. But if you're the Rebellion, you maybe gotta space each other out just a bit more. Maybe they're a bit too in close to where they need to be, to the fact that they're just kind of getting in each other's way a bit. They need to provide more opportunities, but oh gosh, Kiwi, that dude, you cannot stop him with this kind of force over here.
Can we talk about that pass as well? Great pass on a platter for Kiwi, and Kiwi going in and dunking on the opposition like DeAndre Jordan. for the LA Clippers, and he gets his hat trick as well to join Caesar. All we're waiting for is a Wicca goal at this point. If we are rooting for EM and, you know, rooting for our fellow FC Dallas fans right here. And speaking of FC Dallas, they just conceded with Polar getting the first goal for the Rebellion with 69 seconds remaining.
Yeah, the Rebellion looking like, you know, like San Jose. You know, just putting in a little bit of work, getting the goal. Honestly, a really good slot into that right side of the net. I thought that was gonna get saved. I thought he had a good angle to clear that one. You know, Polar, we always mention that he's a striker here for this Rebellion side. Put in the work. Maybe something can get started. Maybe it's something to carry into game number 2, as they are down by 5. So it's definitely, unless something catastrophic happens, this one is all said and done. As another one comes through.
Y'all know what's coming next. I'm just gonna stay quiet for this. Uh-oh. No, it's not coming yet. Okay, don't worry about it. We'll get back into it in a sec. 1 sec. Anyways, Debit. Yeah, I mean, this has been an absolute slobber knocker. You know, I mean, the Rebellion have just gotten destroyed right now. Nothing else to say.
Yeah, the team is kind of, you know, in all sorts of shapes and sizes. They're cutting each other off in areas where they can't exactly control the pace of play. They're getting some good clears out and some good physical play on this, or from time to time, but it's not exactly the most meaningful. And that's a lot, at least to what I compare to, you know, your earlier point about them being the Steel Army of that case. Whenever they get sort of outmatched, they sort of resort to these kind of tactics where they think these will work, but it's just not at the right time. And maybe it's now going to work. They avoid the full Brazil, with Shorts benefiting from the teammates wanting to play a little bit of aggressive ball over here, and Polar getting quite the bump. Good heavens.
Can we talk about... Team... Sorry, yeah. I'll let you finish.
No, go for it.
Can we talk about that defending? What was EM doing there? They just looked like they were all over the place and just wanting to avoid that Brazil moment. Not that it matters, because El Matador wins 7-2. It's a big win. The first game in the bag for them. And if, you know, you want to win the league title, this is the best way to kick off your matchup.
Yeah, and with the lineup that we don't see too often from EM, so, you know, this is a really solid start for them. I think if I'm looking at this correctly, we might have full strengths for the Rebellion. And I don't know how much of EM is out there right now. They may all be out there. I see Luis in chat, so he may just be tempted to, you know, let his teammates have the glory for a bit. I'm seeing Huey in chat too. So, and Coach Skyline, don't forget him as well. So
wait,
it makes me wonder, Huey? Like, isn't he Framsa?
Wait, is he Framsa? I thought Framsa was a different dude.
Reveal yourself.
Anyways, Coach Skyline's work paying off, according to Luis in the chat. I mean, Coach Skyline, probably coach of the season, according to the EM and FC Dallas fan base. But hey, you know what? If you're playing a combination like Kiwi Caesar or Wicca, and you're making it work this well against a full-strength Rebellion side, you must be doing something right. Maybe Skyline's input is playing a part right here.
You know how some coaches, you know, provide just the absolute best relief for you in a situation, like that almost like helps your play in a way. You just maintain that level of like tranquilness, that easygoing attitude. That sort of be like, yeah, we'll be fine. That's the Skyline effect. It's so beautiful.
Indeed, and Skyline, if you're listening to this, we want your confirmation on this as EM kick off Game 2, where they left off at Game 1, full throttle pressure, but Shorts bringing it away. Not for long, though, because Wicca has been absolutely big for this side. Ball right in the middle. Wicca near post deflection, and this ball somehow stays out. Triple C really worried there, but he gets away with it.
Gosh, I thought the Rebellion were about to own goal over there, and Wicca nearly put in the first here for EM. That's a good 50 in the middle over here. Yeah, a little shaky defending. Not quite the best. EM are doing really well in midfield right now and providing a lot of opportunities. Rebellion are just barely hanging on, but not for long as Caesar gets the first.
And it's all Kiwi trying to slow play there, just not able to get to the ball at times. Shorts with a not so good clearance, I'm just going to be honest, playing it right to Caesar. who had that whole far post open. Easy goal for him, 1-0. And after his recent struggle, Caesar is well and truly back, chat and Devin.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. The ACL is fully recovered now. We don't have to worry about that anymore. Dude looks like he is back from a land buff, should you say, and is still continued even into the month of July. So really solid here from EM. They're still continuing to, you know, basically look at whatever the Rebellion are throwing at them and, you know, just kind of wait out the pressure and then just wait to strike. Like, they're just looking so confident on the ball. It doesn't look like they're even having trouble off the ball either.
Yeah, but one thing that's really intriguing to see, I don't know if you noticed, but Wicca's pressure game has been insane. This dude is an absolute menace on the opposition and just staying high up and bumping the Rebellion midfield players, not giving them even a millimeter of space, and that allows EM's more flair players like Caesar and Kiwi to get a bit more time on the ball and settle in. I really like that approach from EM right here. I don't know if they even practice stuff like this, but they just seem to figure it out and apply it on the go instantly. But I guess that helps when you're as good as the EM side.
Yeah, the players are super solid, really in line with each other. Coach Skyline, you know, it's another coaching presence over here. And yeah, I just want to go back to your point about Wicca. Yeah, this might be the most confident I've ever seen Wicca look in a game. The touches have just been phenomenal. The pressure is always there. The defense, I think, has honestly been the only thing that maybe either like, maybe kind of like plain, maybe a bit lacking, but you know, whenever you fill in the gaps so much like you do that Wicca is already doing in this game, you kind of don't need anything else. The midfield is already getting clogged up again, and the Rebellion aren't capitalizing off of, you know, these errant touches, even if they are errant from Wicca.
And it's funny you bring up the defending, as we see a good chance right there for EM. You know, as weak as it may have, as much as it's been their weakest point, it's still been pretty good. I mean, Caesar's come up with a couple of massive saves. Their midfield game has been really good as well. Look at that challenge from Caesar, by the way, making sure this Rebellion side gets no chance to build up. Pass attempt right there from Wicca to Kiwi. Kiwi now slow play. Caesar trying to go for a double after his bump. Now the ball is slowly meandering to the back of the net, courtesy of the final touch from Kiwi. And after all of that good work from the Rebellion, it is El Matador who double their lead, 2-0 to El Matador.
And just as I thought that maybe Caesar might be able to get the double on this, I see both Wicca and Kiwi go for that one. I'm going, okay, there's no chance that either one of them misses this one over here. And they just oh my gosh, Caesar ended up getting credit with a shot, but maybe shouldn't have gone for that one in the end.
Devin, this has been absolutely incredible to watch. I mean, EM have been an absolute joy. They've been fun to see right here. With that said, I expected the Rebellion to come out a bit more and potentially get punished, but it's been the exact opposite. It is EM going cavalier, just going crazy in their game, bringing everyone up, and now the Rebellion could have had a goal, but Caesar comes up big once again, making a big save right at the end with his good positioning. More of that, Rebellion. The more you fall back, the more likely you are to concede. Polar making sure he makes that pressure count. It is 2-1 to the Rebellion, and with 62 seconds left, Devin, they can still come back.
Yeah, dude, this was the most offensive pressure we've seen out of Rebellion this entire series. This was stuff that we wanted to see. Them passing across, doing these either backboard or cross-crease passes between each other. That's the best we've seen them look. They need to keep that up. Mimic what they keep doing. Get the pressure, get the boost, make sure EM are, you know, out of the way, cleared out a bit, and you can honestly deliver something special over here. Nearly brought another one, but it remains still 2-1. Maybe this pressure can result in something. Defense is still pretty stout here from EM. They gotta see if they can clear their lines, or the Rebellion maybe can counter over here.
Ooh, bit of a loose control there from Shorts, but Polar towards the goal. That was open, but it came off the backboard. Shorts cutting yet again. Triple C with full boost towards the backboard. Shorts off the backboard. Now Polar, he slots it in to the top left corner. The equalizer is in with 20 seconds to go, and you have a symmetric scoreboard right there, chat. 2-2 in game 2.
Dude, how are you supposed to go up against this right now? EM are like, all right, shoot it. All right, never mind, backboard. Shoot it, backboard. Somebody is always on the other end. for the Rebellion. They're ready to just keep passing across. And then Polar, probably with a little bit of a helpful post over there, a slot nonetheless. And we could be heading to overtime here in game number 2. What an absolute thriller of a game number 2 that we have.
Luis has said it perfectly. Absolute cinema in this game 2 as we head into overtime.
Overtime, quite deserved here for this game. The Rebellion have cleaned up a lot of defensive mistakes. They've been looking to transition really well. They've been getting the physical play, but both of them trade blows right now. Maybe a quick little 2v2. But the Rebellion end up winning that one immediately before Kiwi just stomps on that one, shouts down from the heavens saying, "No, you do not. I'm going to 50 my way out of here." EM are going to have to retreat for a bit. Maybe can regain over here. And they continue to do so. Look at it continue. He's going for a flip reset over here, and he still gets it by 1 from the Rebellion over here.
But Kiwi has no boost to follow that up, so Wicca needs to cut in. Kiwi with 0 boost, trying to keep this in the midfield, and now the ball's going the other end. Oh my goodness, Caesar's lost control, but he gets the corner boost to recover. Polar, oh my goodness, what a pass! The shot is barely off target, and Wicca sees it off somehow. I thought that was going to be the game winner. What a counter from the Rebellion, but they just couldn't make it count.
Oh my gosh, you thought they were going to break through. Polar's been sharpshooting the entire game. Maybe a pass across. Wicca just barely ends up getting that one through. Gets the touch. Shorts has to do well over here. That's a good 50 by Kiwi. Forces 2 over here from the Rebellion. Triple C, you got to get it over 1. Wicca, it's a good little touch, but Polar, what can you do? Goes backboard, looking for the rebound. Oh, it's just cleared off the line. And EM can turn quickly here. 2 are coming back here for the Rebellion. Wicca, one more touch. Gets it to the middle. Dealt with easily by the Rebellion, but one more shot over here. Oh, Polar misses, but the defense still comes up huge. Look at Triple C go.
What a save! Triple C making sure the Rebellion stay in this game too, and this overtime is approaching. The 2nd minute played. Wicca trying to go for the winner, meeting a wall of orange at the back. Not over yet. Kiwi to the near post. Game winner. After all of their struggles, after all the Rebellion's hard work, EM make it count, and they are 1 game away from the league title.
Good heavens, this is such a heel turn from game number 1. This is what we expected out of the Rebellion. This was more fire, more passion, more desire. But yet in the end, it's still El Matador come up huge. It's spread across the line, share the wealth however you want to do it. Kiwi being the primary offense in here with 2 goals, benefactoring from, oh my gosh, Wicca, that hop off the corner wall at the end, beautifully placed right into the path. You just can't script it any better. EM are primed to take the title right now. They just have to not let their foot off the gas.
Absolutely, and you know what? Credit to the Rebellion for an incredible comeback. They were doing what I was hoping for them to do in game 1, which is this insane pressure off the backboard, off the backboard, off the backboard. Midfield challenge when the ball settles, and off the backboard again and again. Make sure that EM keep using their boost, and they get boost starved eventually. And that's how they got both their goals. But at the end of the day, this EM side has a lot of attacking quality. So even if they're not starting Luis, even if they don't have Huey, they can still make it count. Luis, Wicca, Kiwi, and Caesar have all showed their quality. We'll see if this lineup can continue. There may be a few surprises coming in.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this EM squad from the get-go, from the very beginning, seeing what they could potentially pull out over here. And oh my goodness, chat, it's actually happening. One of the OG squads is coming out here for your viewing pleasure. It is Luis Caesar returning to the field. And most of all, the Couve trying to shove this one out, and they get started with the Couve goal off the backboard. What an incredible start.
OG versus OG, and it is the EMOG Couve contributing with the very first goal. Guys, if you don't know, Luis and Couve are 2 of the only players in this EM squad who have been in who have been in SGL since the very beginning of El Matador's time, since Season 3. And now those two are in, getting involved in this title deciding game, and it is the Couve who gets the first goal. And EM are absolutely cooking as Luis tried to do it on zone. Couve yet again, Triple C bringing it out for the counter. And the Rebellion, they're trying to get one back, but this EM team, when they have Luis and Caesar together, Debit, they're absolutely relentless.
It is such confident play here from both of them right now. Luis and Couve are both chasing each other, but we just have to acknowledge that Cullen, Mr. Couve, he's still really confident, even as the last one back. Look at him still attempting these shots. If he misses, that EM could be screwed right now. But look at the confident play. It doesn't matter. And the Rebellion, they finally get the counter that they're looking for. Countering off of El Matador being a bit too confident, should you say, and they strike back.
This is absolute insanity in this game 3. We get a Couve goal, and then we get an EM side getting a bit too loose defensively. Luis getting chased off and bumped off. Caesar not getting much control of the ball, and Polar with the equalizer yet again. And we talked about Serrano last week and how he catalyzes the call and drags them out of trouble. We could say that about Polar in the Rebellion. He is absolutely taking on that mantle right now, making sure this Rebellion side stays in this matchup.
Yeah, you're going to need to rely on your players like Polar, ones that are just so solid. You just need to continue to do what they do. Triple C needs to supply the balls here for both Shorts and Polar to deliver. It's something that the Rebellion absolutely need if they're going to stay in this game over here, because we know this EM squad. We know what they're capable of, and you got to put them in these uncomfortable situations just like they're doing now. Polar's already doing so well, but so is Caesar. Double deflection out. The pressure keeps coming from the Rebellion, but EM can at least clear their lines for the moment, but it's still not over. They're continuing it right now, and if you're EM, you gotta start looking out for what you gotta potentially do to shut down this Rebellion side who keeps getting into your backline.
So far, EM are doing a good job defending against this, making sure that they're there for the shots, but no, they're gonna make it down that moment, and the Rebellion take the lead, courtesy of Triple C, and I believe this is their first lead of the match as well.
This is indeed. This is their first lead and something that they can benefit greatly off of. Luis was trying to get maybe some sort of clear out, maybe a pass, something that he can 50 down the line, but it just ends up being a bit too much. And it just ends up falling right into the hands of the Rebellion as they take a 2-1 lead, and that's a good shot taken on by the Couve. Good heavens, this dude's angles are incredible here in this game number 3. No dice here for EM so far, but the opportunities are presenting themselves again. This is something that you really want to see. Oh, and that is one of the most unfortunate bump plays that you could have seen.
And Luis is set up to go on his own flip reset, just cannot get the oomph on that shot to get it back. Triple C, who's dribbling it in on his own. Caesar hanging back, making the right choice, and makes a key save right there. But oh my goodness, I thought the Rebellion were going to get their third right there. But Caesar holds them back and keeps EM in this game 3.
Just barely over here. Maybe it's something we could see a little bit back. That's a great little defensive fake here from Caesar. Maybe one more from Luis. That's perfectly set up for a rebound, but Polar does well to clear the danger again. The solid defender here from the Rebellion, but now Triple C is on his own. Fake from Luis. Fake from Caesar. And the Couve. I'm sorry. Caesar, there's no follow-up over here. That could have been the equalizer, but nothing going here for EM.
Oh my
Tries the doozy. Oh my gosh, the defense is still holding up for the Rebellion. They have a quick counter. Goes for the musty. Doesn't quite get the power that he wants, but he forces an awkward save off the line. And my goodness, it's just back and forth chaos now.
It absolutely is chaos at this phase. The Rebellion open net. Polar with its second. The Rebellion with their third. And game 3 is going the Rebellion's way. The OGEM lineup is on the back foot, and now they're 2 goals down with 67 seconds remaining. They're in big trouble.
Yeah, this is something that we didn't quite expect to see out of the Rebellion. We knew they were doing so well up against that previous squad in game number 2, but you thought just for a sec that the magic of the OG squad was going to be something that maybe wasn't going to be quite up to the task here for this Rebellion squad. But they looked at their members that EM was throwing at them and said, nah, not today. We're going to bring out everything over here to keep the pressure on through our lineup that we got over here. It doesn't matter what you throw at us. We're about to take one over here, and they look primed to do it right now. They actually look so confident. Look at Polar getting one, going for the reset. Shorts end up taking it away from him. Highly unfortunate over here. But it just shows that this Rebellion side, there is no quit right now.
What an incredible game 3 it has been from the Rebellion. All 3 players really turning it up right now. But now the net is potentially open on the other end. Pass play right there. Polar sees that, intercepts. The ball's going into the other end. It's not in yet. It's still loose. It barely stays out. Not that it matters, because the Rebellion win game 3 and take us to game 4.
Oh, man, I know I predicted in 4 for EM, but I kind of didn't expect something like this to happen. And honestly, it's something that I hope the lineup happens again for this El Matador side, because I thought they looked really good in a lot of cases. But this Rebellion side, gosh darn, I don't think I've ever seen a more confident Rebellion all season.
And that is the confidence we were waiting for. We were waiting to see, Debit, and I'm so happy we've been able to see it finally. On the other hand, though, with this lineup, I'd have thought the OGEM side could be able to like play and work together, but they were the exact opposite of the lineup that we saw in the first 2 games. I mean, that is a lineup that has rarely played with each other, but they looked so cohesive. It was incredible to watch. This team, on the other hand, anything but cohesive. We kept seeing players cut into each other's way, trying to get to the ball first. Kuv stepping on his EM teammates' toes, and likewise with Luis. Caesar just trying to fit in wherever he could, and no surprise right here. I mean, they struggled.
They struggled here, but it could be just one of those cases of, not playing enough together in this instance. So let's see if they're running it right back. Same lineup, the content. We're trying to go for the absolute cinematic ending as Luis tries to get this one started very early on. Cleared off the line. Caesar does well to throw it right back in. Is there one more follow-up? Caesar has the shot. Cleared out by Shorts. Oh my gosh, Kuv had an opportunity, but it was wide.
How did Kuv not score right there? He had the chance to get the first goal. Puts it wide, though. EM bringing it back out, though, on the other end. Luis saying, I'm going to go for the corner boost. Has all the time to get back. Caesar, oh my goodness, Caesar needs to be ready for this, because Kuv went up, tried to go for a hit on the ball, missed completely. And if I'm the Rebellion, I'm looking forward to game 5 right here. I mean, Luis and chat already mentioned it, content team. I think they're looking to take us to game 5 and give us that cinematic ending to this league season. But don't rule anything out. With how unpredictable this matchup has been so far, anything can happen at this point, and I mean it.
Yeah, truly, anything can happen. I know we mentioned content team. We could be expecting a game 5. But legitimately, there is so much chaos on the field right now. The Rebellion are actually doing really well to intercept. They may have the shot opportunity, well defended here by Luis. But the Rebellion are really reading El Matador a lot better. They're reading these slower passes, and they're like, all right, time to jump in. And they cut so well here on defense that it's really starting to bear fruit and look really well, but not this time. Trying to play a little bit of deception. Caesar's going to be the one that gets the goal, but this fake from Luis might have sealed the deal.
Yeah, that fake definitely threw off Shorts. He was hesitating at the moment he saw Luis go up for the ball. I think he was expecting a fake, but he still wasn't able to get to the ball on time. That play worked out. EM take the lead just like they did in game 3. But can they seal it off right here? Can they get a second? And can they get the win in this game 4? Or will the Rebellion be able to come back and take us to game 5?
Only time will tell here in this game. Over here, we got a lot of jumping towards some of these loose balls over here. Great little win here from Caesar. That is just so clean and easy to do. Luis gets the second here for El Matador. Now looking really good for their chances here in this series.
Remember what you mentioned about the Rebellion earlier, how they like to overcommit and really get high up? They got punished right there. All Caesar had to do was get to the ball first and play it right to the middle where his teammate Luis was ready for it. And Luis gets the second for El Matador, 2-0 up. And maybe maybe this El Matador team is finally settled in and they're now going to get the victory. Unless the Rebellion can spring another surprise.
I think they're playing around each other really well right now. And that first game they tried was a lot of chaos, but now there's a lot more freedom, you know, to see these sides, to see how they want to play. They're trying to set up Koof for some offensive opportunities and kind of leaving one of them to, you know, take the potential lead in as the last follow through if absolutely need be. That second goal, more of like a, you know, cut and turn of the momentum swing just in that given moment. But, you know, they're starting to play around in an area where they're trying to make life as easy as possible for each other and not give too much, at least to Kuv over here.
Yeah, I think they've realized that if they have two players committing, one of them has to stay back now. So we're starting to see that discipline emerge in this El Matador side, and it is helping them throughout. But now they need to defend. They need to see off this Rebellion attack, and they've gone away with it right there. Whole lot of harassment in that blue goal, but EM see it off. Kuv plays it out to the left flank. Another pass off of the sidewall. Polar clearing it away. Can the Rebellion now push up and pin back this EM side like they did just earlier? But as we can see right here, Devitt, the midfield, they just gave it up completely, and now EM are taking control.
Yeah, it's one that you're seeing back to the game one, a little bit of what we're seeing out of the Rebellion. They look like they're wanting to get these opportunities. They're so close, but they're just not quite in sync, and they end up giving up the ball a bit too easily in some of these cases, giving EM that chance to counter quickly, and they got to get back. Polar is ready with boost, but with Luis going up, you never know what you're going to go up against, as Caesar nearly had an opportunity to strike, nothing going over there. The ball is still in an awkward spot, the Kuv making life hell for the Rebellion, who are currently just fiending for any sort of boost in order to get back, and at least defend right now, but EM they're relentless.
And it seems like once they got their second goal, Devitt, EM has taken control. We're entering the final minute now. Anytime the Rebellion get forward, EM is always back. They get back right on time. They're able to see it off. And can they get their third? Kuv is not able to make it on time, but the ball gets played to Caesar. A lot more time wasting going on than we've seen in the last game. And this is working right, as it should for EM. The Rebellion are nowhere to be seen to kick off this attack, and they get the ball back to the blue team. And Devitt, I think we have to say it. I think EM has won this matchup based on how this game is going so far.
Yeah, it's not looking good. The Rebellion are in all sorts. Just, honestly, there's no shape to them right now, and they end up bumping this one all the way back down the field. Maybe an opportunity for a final goal. Oh, the Kuv can't strike. There's no finishing blow here for El Matador. But it might not even matter in the end. We are at 0 seconds. Right now, El Matador are your Season 9 Premier Champions.
It is done. El Matador have sealed it after winning the Season 8 title. El Matador makes it back-to-back, and they are your Season 9 SGL Premier League champions. Congratulations to EM.
Just letting the crowd enjoy that one for a little bit. You gotta let the crowd noise pump in because, folks, this is the back-to-back for them. This is something that they've sort of been, building towards this entire time ever since Season 3. Getting more EM, FC Dallas people into their side, in the community. Getting more people involved, playing the game. This is all different walks of life, too. This is not specifically like some family teams or close friend groups that we've seen out here. This is completely some new territory for some of these people, and what a just fruitful result, seeing all this work come together here for this EM side, and they get to share in the spoils, get to all celebrate as a crew over there. EM big dogs, go join your family over there, have a drink with them, do all what you can because this is a fun night.
To think, Devitt, that it took them 6 full seasons, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 6 full seasons to get their first title. And now that they've gotten their first title, they've gone back to back. It's absolutely incredible for them. I mean, they've been around for a long time, and they're finally starting to realize their full potential. So well done to EM. For some teams that come in with the number of players that they've had, the number of players that have gone as well, And this team just keeps producing. They keep doing it. They keep entertaining us. And, you know, after a few hiccups in this season, they've been able to showcase that they are indeed the best team in SGL this season.
And through such a plethora of players, it feels like it could be the most frustrating things from time to time. And honestly, if you're EM, what else are you gonna do? Why don't you hit the gritty goose in chat? Just like Wicked did. It's the kind of stuff you just gotta enjoy. Sit back, enjoy the good Rocket League that you're playing. I really hope we get to hear from at least one of them soon, if not maybe more. Potentially into the booth. I want to see how they're doing. Get the feel on what it's like to be back-to-back champs. Any of them doing their best impressions, potentially. Maybe inspired by Florida Panthers celebrations by chance.
Looks like we are definitely going to get an interview, Debit. We are going to be kicking it off with EM, obviously. We'll see who's going to come in very soon. I believe we're going to start with, and this is a key word here, start. We're going to start off with Kiwi. Kiwi, welcome on in. It's been a while since we've seen you play this well, but you turned it up big time. But before we get to your performance in that matchup, league title in Season 9, back-to-back championships for you as well personally. How are you feeling after an incredible campaign?
Yeah, feeling great, man. You know, we called it last season. Had a shaky start, but cleaned it up. I didn't play as much as I wanted to, but I definitely called myself out plenty of times because I think I talked to you about it. I was playing a lot of Souls, Night Rain, so that just completely got me off of Rocket League entirely for a while. And yeah, it was great to come in last few games and have a pretty good performance.
Seeing this lineup of that trio come out, was this something that was like always planned from the start, and then maybe like shifting over to, you know, like the OGest of lineups possible? Like, give me some insight into the talks as you were building your rosters toward this final matchup of the season.
Yeah, Skyline made the call. He was like, you know what? I want Kiwi, I want Caesar, I want Wicca. Hit some casual, hit some competitive, and that's the lineup we went with. And then we didn't know Coop was gonna show up. He just joined, and we're like, all right, well, Coop's here. We got to get some games in. We really wanted Huey here, but scheduling didn't work out. He was unavailable, so that's a big bummer. But shout out Huey.
Is that why you guys wanted to play tomorrow instead of today? Because you could have had your full lineup potentially?
Yeah, we wanted all the boys to be here and all be together, celebrate, have that last win.
Well, you know what? You still had almost all of them in. So, sorry, I just wanted to say that you still had most of your team in there. So well done on that. Debit, go ahead. My bad, bro.
He's gonna have to walk into the locker room like UNC coach, just sort of like strutting his way in, shimmying through.
Yeah.
With a drink in hand, going like, "Hey, boys!"
Yeah.
But no, that's awesome. Being part of the back-to-back, you're part of both winning seasons. That's super exciting to see for you guys. What does it mean for you guys as like a group of kind of like? I mean, I mentioned it right before the interviews, but you guys come from like different walks of life. You're not like some other teams where we've seen like the closest of friends like pull through, or like even say like family members joining up, like we've seen with LV, Steel Army, and whatnot. What does it mean for like this group of guys over here?
I think it means a lot. All of it's just kind of being strangers and all love Rocket League, play Rocket League, and getting to play together. I haven't met Caesar yet. I knew of Luis, and I would see him around the supporters section when I would be, my early days of joining FC Dallas as a season member. See him doing the chants with the microphone. and I randomly came across his Twitter, and luckily I DM'd him when he was asking for Rocket League players to come play with him. I met Wicca at DreamHack a couple months ago here in Dallas. That was awesome. Got to meet him. Met Ponzi. Yeah, it's cool. Having all the guys. EM Big Dogs. There's a good amount of us, so it's pretty cool community. I'm really happy to be here, and I think I'll be here another season. I think that's what it looks like. I was kind of on the fence if I wanted to keep playing, because just for me, it's like I love Rocket League, but then I do enjoy playing other games too. So I haven't really talked to the guys about it yet, but I think I'll be maybe doing like a coup kind of thing next season. Pop in here and there.
You gotta see how the contract negotiations go, right?
Yeah, it's not even that. I think I just was like enjoying. I really enjoyed like playing Night Rain when it came out, and not that it was like a bummer that like, oh, I gotta play Rocket League now, but that's kind of where my head's at right now.
Well, speaking of Rocket League, I am curious about one of the messages I just read in Twitch chat, and I think it's appropriate that I bring this guy in. So, Wicco, welcome on in. I so noticed a message in Twitch chat where you talked about Kiwi playing so well. You want to talk a bit more about that, about this GC23's lobby?
What you should never do is get in a party with Caesar and then queue ranked, because you will get stomped by playing 3 people who are as good as Caesar.
Oh, good heavens, dude.
Yeah,
He's been grounding so much.
I think there are 2 GC3s and a GC2, and I was like, oh, whoops. I'm just too used to queuing with Luis and it being at least reasonable. And then we got cooked.
So you're ready for all the pace to come in as soon as you were into this SGL matchup. So, I'd say it was honestly all in good preparation then, at the end of the day.
I mean, I believe the logic is in training, play harder than you're going to play in the game, so.
There you go. So, one thing I want to talk about, Kiwi, you talked about meeting Wicca at a DreamHack. How'd that turn out? Like, did you guys know you were going to be in the same event, or was that just a coincidence?
So, I actually work DreamHack events, and so I told Kiwi swing by my stage and I'll pop out for 10 minutes and say hi. Watched some Overwatch 2 and met the boys. It was good.
Easy as that.
Have you guys got together like an FC Dallas game yet, or has that not happened at this time?
Hasn't happened yet. I know Ponzi. I've spoken to Ponzi, but we haven't like actually, because I'm under the canopy, and he's like in the midsection, the midfield. So we haven't got a chance to actually meet at the game, but we'll chat when we're there. Stuff. Our Discord group chat is always talking about our FC Dallas team.
Our lovely, absolutely no problems in that team.
Hey, y'all won 2-2. That was some good stuff.
Well, you know what? I think we need to hear the thoughts of other people about that matchup, and of course this SGL matchup too. So, Luis and Caesar, why don't you all come on in? Caesar, come on in as well. Bring the whole team in. All right, let's talk about San Jose versus FC Dallas. How'd y'all not get that win against that team, by the way?
But you left Playboy Farty alone.
Well, he's not in yet.
Bro. 4 straight losses. We avoided historic defeat there. So, I mean, like Debit said, I mean, we won. So,
yeah,
we won by not losing.
Yeah, I mean, this is literally the worst FC Dallas team in my, arguably ever, at least in my fandom. The only other team is like 2003. So, historic times.
Through the good times and bad, boys. Through the good times and bad. But look at that. Look at that. Your team may be suffering on the field at Toyota Stadium, but in SGL, EM gets their 2nd title in a row. Luis, you've been around since Season 3, going through all the highs and lows, and through various players and rosters. I mean, this is most likely the best EM team you've ever played with, but how does it feel to go back to back? Does that make this whole occasion even sweeter?
Yeah, I mean, you know, Maz, anybody who's been in SGL for a while, like, we were always really shit. So, we literally were one of the worst teams almost every season. We never won anything. Yeah, never did anything cool. And so yeah, it's been fun. Been fun to win. Yeah, hopefully we continue that next week. Next week's the cup. Should be fun against Timber's Army. I think we're all really looking forward to that game.
Yeah, for real. Especially if you guys got to go against Timber's Army at full strength, and potentially in some 1v1s over there. We're talking. Honestly, we could be looking at some bigger things, potentially even a reset like we saw in the championship over there. So I'm really looking forward to see what you guys can pull off over there. Is this celebration kind of going to be short-lived until that cup final over there, or are you just gonna be basking as much as possible, no matter what happens in the cup over there?
Yeah, Caesar can answer, bro. Caesar, your turn, bro.
What?
This guy's not even at his
He's not even
desk,
here.
bro.
He's not even here.
Oh,
This guy's not
okay,
even here.
oh crap! Question. It was.
Oh, yeah, it's a great interview.
Is it no
on.
sleep till the cup final, or are you gonna, or is this basically
yeah,
gonna be like
no
the
sleep.
highlight of the season? No sleep?
Jack Grealish, Erling Haaland, like we are living it up now.
You be practicing
Yeah.
all the ones possible against Boy Boy right now?
Please, I'm not playing. I am not playing that mother. You know, in 1v1s. Alright. I was sweating and I lost by 3 against him. I think Luis got that.
Yeah, Colin's playing the 1v1s, bro.
Yeah, Colin
Colin
got
got it.
Oh, he's got it? Okay.
Yeah,
Good to
yeah.
know.
He's not ready at all. I built
He's
the
been
house on
putting in
it.
the hours.
No,
He was cooking today.
Shots on me. Shots on me, guys. Champagne on me as well.
I mean, we're
I was
watching. I'll be honest, and Caesar can attest to this. We're watching. I think for next week, we're really looking forward to Jason the Ween and
Yeah.
Sakura streams in Japan this week,
We're in
right?
we're in Japan right now.
Yeah, we're in
it's
Japan right now.
begun.
So we're really locked in to that. But
Going for the
they don't even
double
know
right
that
now.
is. They don't even know what that is.
Well, I just want to bring it back to SGL real quick, because you guys rotated quite a bit. You tried to get every single player, an appearance, and you guys did
True.
that. Huey is the only one who missed out, unfortunately. But next week
Yeah.
in the cup final, are you going to try and keep it consistent, or are you going to rotate there as well?
Nah, I mean, we'll always rotate, right? The only reason Huey didn't play today is because he wasn't here. He just couldn't make it. So, yeah, we'll always rotate. I mean, just kind of how we always do it. If you show up, you're basically going to play unless you tell me that you don't want to play. So, or you tell Skyline that you don't want to play. So,
Yeah, Skyline.
True.
Well, there you have it. We have the whole team on board right now. Congratulations on your league title, by the way. Well done. The floor is yours. If you want to say anything, go ahead.
Not
Dan Hunt, you are a terrible owner. I hope that you get canceled and have to sell the team because you are absolutely the worst owner in all of the MLS. Yeah, that's all I have to say. And that's it for me.
Hi Dan Hunt. I really enjoy this time of the year.
Dude.
No, I fuck him, but W kits that we dropped yesterday.
Oh, true. The kids are so good.
Huey, Wiki, anything from you two?
Just as usual, thanks for the stream. Thanks for doing everything you do for behind the scenes, for us, for all the guys and the teams. I really appreciate it. Thanks again.
Oh yeah, Shadow Toad.
I gotta go order that new burn kit.
Don't order on MLS.com. It's shipping in a month. Apparently, I did a mistake. I spent 200 something bucks for the jersey or whatever with the name and everything. It's gonna take a month to get here.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so if you're listening and you want to buy some of the new retro MLS kits that have come out, anybody in chat, don't buy it through MLS.com. Buy it through like your local distributor because it'll, yeah, it's just a tip.
Yeah, I'm getting mine tomorrow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right. Well heated advice then.
Well, thank you very much for coming in to this interview. Go on and celebrate that. Some of us may catch you in the voice chat after the stream. If not, we'll catch you next week for the cup final. Take care.
Trophy
Have a
list.
good night,
Trophy
guys.
list. Hey.
You heard the man. He's lifting right now.
Jays for Jason.
Hey.
He's editing the admins out of the photo right now.
Yeah, you know who to edit out.
Does the trophy get to stay?
Yeah, can we keep it?
Can we actually keep the trophy, or it has to stay in the White House, bro?
No, you guys can keep it.
Yeah,
It's like the
it's
Stanley
yours.
Cup, you know? You get to have it for the summer. Go in a lake with it.
That is funny that
Dude.
they're keeping it. Probably gonna
Freaking
put
love
one.
boating.
All right. Well, that was a fun interview. Couple a little quiet, but you know what? I think they're really focused on the cup final right now, Debit.
Yep, focus on the cup final. Want to celebrate as a team, as a squad together. As you see up on your screen, we do have the congratulations for our Season 9 Premier League winners in El Matador. So once again, congrats to them. They definitely earned it all here in this season. Sometimes gave us a little bit of a wondering if it was gonna be Timber's Army season or even KC at one point, but this team is kind of like just looking at like death taxes right now. They're the third that's coming in so solid over here, and for this team, this is just such a huge result that they can carry that up into the cup final. We could be looking at another double between the leagues.
Absolutely. And we'll get to the cup bracket in a little bit just to show you where they're at and how that's going to be set up. But let's just take a quick look at the league standings as we see El Matador 6 points ahead with their final matchup played out. So there you have it. They are in first place. They have locked it in. ECRC are now locked into second place. Third can still go to Casey Cauldron if they beat Timbers Army. Otherwise, Timbers Army in a really good position to keep that. But that's the only place up for grabs right now, Debit. Everything else is already set in stone. Rebellion with 15 points. Honestly, not a bad campaign given the quality of teams in this season. EC Eternal with 8 with 1 win as well in their first season together. So, you know what? All in all, every team has something that they can appreciate in this season at the very least.
Yeah, it's a learning opportunity for each of these teams going through, because we thought the league could have been won by any of these four top teams. We've seen the locals, honestly, with their new squad, put in numbers that could rival the top should have they had that roster early on. In some argumentative cases, we can definitely see that. So that's one thing that was good to see. And yeah, as like you mentioned, season's technically not over yet. Biggest matchup still yet to be seen is that battle for third place between Timbers Army and KC Cauldron. And just a little bit of a heads up, that likely may be happening on Monday of next week, given the circumstances of scheduling. So we may have to wait a bit until we see the actual final table here of the Premier League here in SGL Season 9. So we'll be patient over there. But yeah, we're at the spot where just need to do a couple housekeeping items, and then that league campaign is wrapped up.
Absolutely, and I don't want to take too much more time as we're about to close the stream, but let's just take a quick look at that cup final, because we're talking about EM and Timbers Army. That is going to be an absolutely hot matchup, and I mean, it's going to be insane, because those two teams went to 7 games when they met in the upper semifinal. And for EM, since they're coming up from the lower bracket, they're going to have to do it twice against Timbers Army. KC Cauldron did it in Season 7. They went through 2 best-of-7s, and they went through 2 Game 7s to win the cup. Can EM do it as well? We shall see. But EM does not make it easy. They've gone through every single matchup for them has been a best-of-7, except for the matchup against EC Eternal. So expect more fireworks, expect more cinema, and expect more content from this matchup in the grand final.
I expect it all, and I don't think it's gonna be as potentially lopsided in those other games as well compared to what we see in the championship. I truly do believe this grand final has the potential to reach a 14-game grand final. This is very possible. I mean, Championship reached 13, and there was some definite games where you didn't want to see some of the gameplay. But with the quality that we're about to see here in this grand final, I know it's easy to say anything's possible, but truly, I'm nearly ready to see 2 series in a row go the distance.
Yep. So, for next week, grab your food and grab your drinks. It's going to be a long one for sure. For now, though, let us celebrate El Matador's league title, SGL 9, Season 9 Premier League winners. El Matador, after this 3-1 victory against Rebellion, congrats to them. And Devin, unless you have anything to cover up, we can wrap it up right now.
I think we're good to wrap it up. Congrats once again to El Matador, back-to-back champions. Good stuff seeing you guys pull it out again, especially seeing the 2 OGs getting in that final game, showing off that even through all of the years spent together, they can still send out the original lineup and get the results that bring home a championship. So, fellas, go celebrate, have fun. This has been Devitt, and joined by the only Mazar here in the broadcast booth. Thankful for all of you in chat tonight coming to watch this cinematic ending to at least finding out the league title of this campaign over here for Season 9 of the Premier League. Thank you for joining us all. We'll be back again soon.
Until then, take care and have a good night. Peace.
Peace.